Hi guys, welcome back to Tara's Take. Happy Mass Monday. I'm a little bit late. This might not be as long a video today because I haven't slept at all. It's 4:30 in the morning on Monday, and normally I've already posted the video at midnight, but I am running behind because I had a very busy weekend. So anyway, we are going to make these cute little faux envelope. And I call them faux envelope because they're not really envelopes. They just look like it. But they're little embellishments that you can put on your page, or you can even use as a little pocket or tuck spot. Okay? And that depends on how big you make them. Mine are pretty small. I like them like this. I got this idea originally from Gail. And so yeah, we're going to try it. Gail Agostinelli, if you don't know who I mean. I have cut a bunch of, I took 6x6 papers like this that I had cut down from 12x12s. And I just chose a selection of them and thought that they would be fun to, do this with. And we're going to make some. So I have made some that are approximately 2 1/4 inches. Let's see. Let's measure them really quick. Where's my... There you are. Let's see here. So this one, yeah, is about 2 1/4 or so. It was very random when I was cutting these. This one is about, 1 3/4 inches. You do not, you can choose to make them as big or as small as you want. And this size is around probably 1.5 inches or so. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say, yeah, they're about 1.5 inches. So we're doing 3 different sizes so that we have, the cute little combination. And you could probably do as many glued together as you want. I remember mentioning in the first video that Gail had said that, you can kind of do, you kind of get almost a limitless little combination choices with this. So it's pretty cute. I'm just kind of separating these by the paper. And, okay, there we go. I probably should have done this in the first place, but I didn't. So here we are, Miss Tara, she's always doing things at the last minute. Well, just bear with me today because I'm exhausted. So I did our devotion video for tomorrow, and I was, it was like, I don't know, 2:40 in the morning. So yeah, I'll go into it later. I'll tell you about it. So I'm going to make one of these real quick, and the small one, just kind of show you what I am doing. Okay. So I'm going to grab this piece, and I'm just going to flip this over. Now, I don't know if you've ever made these, but when you fold these down like this, you're going to get, it's going to be kind of uneven a little bit, and it's kind of hard to get them perfectly to where you want them. And when you fold this down, you want to get kind of a little, let me show you. You want it to have a little lip kind of thing going on the edge so that it looks like an envelope. Now you can use thicker paper. I don't advise it because these are the kind of little folds that thick paper. This was thicker paper and it worked okay, but it's easier with thinner paper to do these. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut some of this off because we don't need it to be that long. Like that's even a little bit long. Okay. And then you're just going to fold this down, or up I should say, into that lip. And there you have it. A little mini envelope. And we're not going to, you could glue these so that you could open them if you wanted to. And you could even put little closures. I'm not going to do that, but you could. So if you wanted to make it so that you could open these envelopes, it's doable. And you're just gonna, I'm gonna distress here real quick before I forget, because I will, you know how I am. And then you don't really need to do anything but the edges on the front, because this will be glued down. Unless for some reason you're going to use it to float in your journal, then of course, by all means, distress the back as well. And now, the first time I did this, I was gluing down these flaps, but to be honest, you don't really need to. So I'm just going to throw some glue here in the center and along these edges right here. Okay, and that glues this part. And then you really only need to put some glue on this area here for that to stay down like that. Okay, and there's our first mini envelope. So as you can see, super easy peasy. I'll do another one. Now let me do a thicker one this time. I'm going to do this paper. So again, I had stamped on the back of this. If you can do this as even as you can, great. I will show you how to fix it if you don't get it. I got that one pretty even. That was cool. But watch, it might still not be even enough to have the slip be the right size. Oh, not too bad. See, it is a little bit off. If you look at it, this side has more than this side. Can you see that? So the way I was fixing that is when I'm folding this, if I see that my lip is longer on one side, I just take that side and tuck it a little bit more, like so, on that corner, and that should help to make it more even. See? Oh man, I folded this the wrong way. I should have folded it at this end. Yeah, never mind. Darn. Well, I'll just cut that off. Not a big deal. I folded it the wrong way and my words are the wrong direction. So don't do that. So this one's going to be a little more uneven probably because of the way I just did that, but that's all right. I'm not gonna stress myself about it. Okay, now my letters are in the right direction, and then yeah, they're going to be in the right. That's good. That's good. That's good. We like that. Okay, and then we're going to bring this up. So as you can see, these are really easy to make, and they're cute. They really are. I think they're pretty adorable, actually. So we'll get in here with some ink. And then once you get them all made, you decorate them with little mini stuff, you know, little tiny embellishment stuff. Geez, I am so tired, you guys. I'm having palpitations and everything from not getting enough rest. I just couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. So since these are so easy, I'll go ahead and chit-chat for a little while. So yeah, we had a fundraiser at our church last night. And so Cordy and I went with Charity, our friend Charity, and oh my gosh, it was beautiful. It was so much fun. But we got home kind of late for us. You know how we are. We're such early birds. And so, which side do I want? I think I'll do this side. No, I am going to do this side. So anyway, we got home. Well, he came home, and I have Charity's car. She wanted me to come over today, and I'm going to do some stuff at the house with her. And so I took her and our friend Juanita home, and then came after him. He came home a little bit earlier than me. And I get here, and I get to bed at 10. We have to get up at 2 because he had a job today that he was going up way up into the mountains driving. Dang it, I can't get, I wanted to trim this little piece right here. There we go. And so he was driving up into the mountains to a town called Safford here in Arizona. And So he got 3.5 hours sleep. He drove on that, and I got no sleep because when I went to bed, I couldn't go to sleep. Did you ever do that? Just cannot, no matter how hard you try, go to sleep? Yeah, that was me. So I decided, well, you know what? I'm going to get up and do the devotion video. And then after he left for work, I had a little breakfast, which I probably shouldn't have because I had a sandwich and bread makes me tired. So now and then as soon as I ate that, I've been noticing lately that whenever I eat carbs, I get palpitations. I know, don't eat carbs, Tara. Duh. Yeah, I know. I know. But I do love my bread. I'm sorry. I love bread. And I went without it for so long, and I missed it so much. And now I'm like, okay, I got to give it up again because it's getting to me. So anyways. All right. It's really a pretty cool thing. Our church, I'm very blessed. This church is such a blessing. There's so many opportunities and to minister and to help people and stuff. And they have such a heart for people. And our pastor, we have a lot of, unfortunately, in the town we live in, there seems to be a lot of death, whether it be car accidents or shootings or, different things. And we have a lot of elderly here, so there's just, it seems like a lot of people pass away. And so he, our pastor, is such a great guy. Now we're going to glue these. Now you can do these like you can do different. That's what I was talking about earlier. You can do all kinds of little combinations and make them look any way you want. You know what I mean? You can do them like that. You could do it like that. Up here. I think I'm going to do another one that's kind of at a cockeyed angle. I like that. For now, I think that's kind of fun. But anyway, so last night he brings us the idea that he's been wanting to do for a very long time, for like years. And he finally introduced it to us last night. We are going to build, our church is called Crossroads. And so we are going to build this is so exciting. We're going to build, it's going to be called Crossroads Compassion Center. And it's going to have grief counseling, because we deal with so many funerals at our church, and our pastor has such a big heart that if a person doesn't have the money, he pays for it. Our church will donate to pay for funerals. We do it all the time. And he pays for it too out of his own pocket. I mean, he's got a huge heart for people. And so his idea, and the Lord gave him, and he said, I don't know of any church that's done this. And he said, and I really believe that an idea like this comes from the Lord, because, we don't, as human beings, I mean, we want to give and help, but to actually say, okay, we're gonna supply funerals at a discount, or if that family can't afford it, we're gonna give them the funeral outright. And then his goal is a couple of years down the road to actually buy the land to have a cemetery and have it so that people can have a place to bury their loved ones and not pay an absolute fortune. And there's not going to be any stockholders. Nobody's going to be making money off of this. This is going to be something that our church funds and blesses our city with and our community. So I'm just really thankful to the Lord for a pastor like that who has a heart for people, because it breaks his heart to see so many people. They did like a statistic, and it was like in our town, like at least 6 people a day pass away every day. And yeah, so anyway, it's very exciting to be a part of that, because we all really want to reach our community. Our church's goal is to save the city. And that's our biggest goal, is to save the city of Casa Grande, or Casa Grande, for the Lord. And so, yeah, it's a very exciting time to be alive, and it's a very huge blessing to be able to give to a church and contribute and be a part of that kind of a ministry. So, yeah, anyway, it's wonderful. And we love our pastor. He's a sweetheart. Let's see. We're going to do, this all comes out of the same kit, the same scrapbook pad, paper pad. Now this one I cut it pretty thin, so it's this little guy. Okay. So anyway, that's where we were last night. We had a dinner, and then we had a, like, our praise and worship team sang, and then him and his wife came up and talked about the things that, you know, we want to do, and it was wonderful. Yeah, but it didn't last late. We were out of there by like 8:30, but you know, between 8:30 and 9, but you know how it is when you go to bed at 6 o'clock. So for me and Courtney, you know, he left about 8. That was when Pastor was done talking, and he's like, I'm going to go ahead and go home. And I said, okay. So we stayed and, you know, waited and finished the service, but it was funny because we were like, oh, we're dying. It's so late. Oh, I better, I got to do this part. Okay. There we go. He got this vision because when he was younger in the ministry where he came from before he was here in Arizona, he had a young girl who was born again in his church, and he baptized her and everything, and she had a really bad home life, and she was 14, and she ended up, her family was pretty abused, you know, like they abused drugs and that kind of stuff, and she ended up committing suicide. And Pastor said that when they had the funeral, the family was like, we don't have the money. And he said, you know what, she was one of ours at our church. She was a part of our family, and so we're gonna pay for the funeral. And so they did, and that was the first time. And when he did that, the dad came like a few weeks later, and he said, you know, we'd really like to visit your church, but we don't think we'd be wanted because we're drug addicts and we're just a mess. And Pastor said, you know what? Nobody's here judging you. You need, come. We want you here. Your daughter was a part of our family, and we would love to have you as a part of our family as well. So the dad came with the mom and the other kids and stuff, and the whole family ended up getting saved. And this is cool. And the dad ended up being like, he had keys to the church, to Pastor's office. He was like the most trusted person in the house of God, He took care of everything at the church, and he passed away now, but, he had a wonderful end to his life, and it's because his daughter came to our pastor's church and was born again, and even though she passed away, her family, came to Christ through all of that. And so that really moved him to want to help people like in that way. And how often do you see churches that, since we've been there in the last 2 years, I've seen, our church, we have contributed to multiple funerals for church, for our members, and people even in the city who lost loved ones and couldn't afford to bury their loved ones. So I forgot. See, I told you I would forget eventually. So yeah, it's just a real blessing to be a part of that. There we go. I got enough of it. All right. Okay. One last one. What time is it? Okay. So these go by pretty quick, as you can see. Remember to start upside down like I did with the words. If you've got pictures that you want them to, you know, show the right way up, start your folding when it's upside down, okay? Because then that way, when you fold it down, it'll be the right direction. And see, this one's really uneven on my sides, so I am going to go up in there, and I'm going to bring this down, or in, I mean, on this corner. Okay. And it should, yeah, even it out. There we go. Yay. I was so excited this morning when I figured out how to fix that from when it does that. This one's a little long. I don't want to take off a ton though. I want to let it be a little bit bigger. Okay, there we go. Good enough. How is this cut unevenly? Oh, that's cool. Look, I folded down almost right on that V, right to where the flower is at. That's kind of cool. So yeah, I've got white hanging over, so I must have cut this piece pretty bad. So we're just gonna trim this baby up. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm trying to think what else is going on this week. I'm going over to Charity's today, like I said, to help her with some stuff around her house. And I don't know what else. I don't think I really have anything too major going on this week. I have decided, I told Cordy, because I might have mentioned to you guys, I don't remember if I did or not, he really wants me to do like the farmer's market we have here in town, and it's about to end in the, you know, once we hit summer, we won't have it for a while because it's too hot. But I told him, you know, I would like to build up some inventory. I have journals. I have the bigger journals, you know, the junk journals. But I was telling him, I really think I'm going to make, like I showed, I don't know if I showed you guys. Let me see. I made this little journal the other day for myself to use at my book club. And I think it's kind of cute because when you open it, I distressed my pages and did some stamping. And so it's just, you know, it's pretty. And it's just for my notes on the books that I read, you know. But I was telling Courtney I could make inventory of things like this, a little bit bigger, you know, like a regular size, but just a single signature, and decorate it cute and sell it, you know, for between what, probably $5 to $10 or whatever. But those are the kind of things that people like because they're handmade. But then if they're just normal like that, they don't have to pay a fortune for it. You know what I mean? And then also like the little, you know, our little popsicle stick bookmarks and stuff. And did I show you? I showed you guys that I got the big ones, didn't I? I don't know if I showed you. I went and got some of the bigger ones. But anyway, at any rate, yeah. So I was thinking that would be kind of nice to have some inventory of things that aren't all super expensive, and then that way people can afford them, you know. They can afford maybe more to buy from me than just having the real expensive stuff. So I'm just going to do this one kind of at an angle down like that. See, aren't these so cute? They really are. I'm not sure which video I watched years ago. I mean, it was like 2 years ago with Miss Gail. But I'm sure I did not mark it in like my, I'm looking here at my papers, let's see. I didn't, what do you call it? I didn't put it in the first video, like a link to her video, so I'm really not sure what video it was. I'm trying to think which colors I want here. Oh wait, here we go. I can do a smaller one of this, and then that's the medium, right? Yeah. I don't know which one do I want to use for the big one. I feel like I should have more combinations over here, but I don't. It's weird. I think I'm going to use this one. I think that'll look pretty. Hopefully. Oh wait, they look the same size. Why do they? Oh, I've got them mixed up. No wonder. I'm like, why do they look the same size? All right, let's try that again. So we have that one, and then here's the medium. There we go. I'll do that. There. All right. Sheesh. So this one is, let's see. Yeah, that's right side up. So I'm gonna fold it from upside down. Okay. There we go. And I got to meet a lot of folks. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. At our C group, I really got, me and Cordy got blessed because the leader of our C group, the gentleman and his wife who facilitate, he came over afterwards to talk to us and said that, you know, they're always looking for couples to facilitate the Bible studies. And that just means kind of lead the Bible study, you know. And so he came and he said, you know, I've had a few people now come and tell me that they really think that you would be good at facilitating a C group. And he was talking to me because Cordy has got so much wisdom to give. But, you know, I'm more the teacher, and he gives amazing insight when he speaks. But he's not comfortable with the thought of being the main person, you know, to teach. And so, anyway, so we prayed about it, and then a series of events happened today that kind of confirmed whether, because he was like, you know, they always come to us, other facilitators, and ask us, you know, or leaders, do you know of anybody who would be a good fit to facilitate a Bible study, you know, a C group. And so he said, I don't, of course, wouldn't put your name in there if you don't want to, but if it's something that you think, you feel like the Lord, you know, is calling you to, would you be interested? And so tonight I went in and I told, you know, after the meeting, the fundraiser, I told him yes. Because after we got there, there was just a series of events, and Cordy was like, because he was unsure at first, because he's, you know, he's nervous, and he talked to this other brother who, his wife really wanted to do it, and he went and did it with her, but he was a nervous wreck to do it as well. And then he came and told Courtney tonight how great it is, how it's working out really well, and that the whole group has just really clicked together and become a family. And he's like, yeah, I'm loving it. And Cordy's like, awesome. And so it was just this little series of events, is like the Lord orchestrated for us to kind of realize that, yes, this would be a good thing, and it's from the Lord, you know. So praise God. Hopefully in the fall, if they ask me, because he's going to give the leader of that, who runs the C groups, he's going to give him mine and Cordy's name. So hopefully, yeah, we'll get to, if it's the Lord's will, we'll get to do some Bible study, which will be very exciting. You know, I love to do Bible study. You guys know that. So, fun stuff. So these are a little bit time consuming because they're super duper easy, but did that age me, super duper? Does anybody use that phrase at all, ever, anymore, except for someone from my generation? Anyway, they are super easy, but there are, you know, they're kind of fiddly because of their size and stuff, and they're a little bit, you know, awkward, but they are super duper easy. So I'm going to do this last one, and then we're going to decorate, okay? Because like I said, Miss Tara is super duper exhausted. You're like, all right, end it now. That's enough. Okay, I'm going to cut and see if I can get these words on the front. We'll see here. Let's see what I can do. Maybe. I don't know. I would like a little bit of the verbiage there. Okay, scooch in. You need to do a point. It's not going to be any good if you don't even have a point there. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to fold, and then I'm going to try and see if I can make that kind of line up. There's a way to do it, like that. Because now our ends are pretty even. Cool. And I got my words. Look at that. Very nice. I like. Okay. This is cute. We got a little spot here with some white on it. Okay, and then I think I told you guys last week, I'm pretty sure I told you last week, that my friend who won the folio that me and Vanessa made together, she gave it to our pastor's mom. And I was so blessed by that because, you know, for one thing, how often do you sell your journals and you never know the person who has them? You know what I mean? But this one went to my pastor's mother, which she's like 90, 92, something like that. So it was such a blessing. And she was there tonight. Now, I'd never met her before. So the friend who purchased it, I asked her if she'd introduce me. And I got to meet her, and I told her who I am, that I was the one that made the folio. And she's like, oh my goodness, I love it so much. Me and Melissa, that's my pastor's wife, she's like, we love it so much, honey. And so it was really cool because later my pastor's wife comes over, and she didn't know that I was the one who made it. And I guess that her mother-in-law, pastor's mom, told her, and she called me over, and she's like, have you shown Crystal those? Because that's her daughter-in-law, my leader in the children's ministry. And I said, no, I've not, no. And she goes, oh my gosh, she would love these so much. And she said, she told Pastor, he was sitting there eating, and she's like, Tim, Tara's the one who made that for your mom, you know. And he's like, oh, thank you, because my mom loves it, you know. But it was such a blessing to just be able to bless my pastor's mother. She's a precious lady. She's had so much on her plate this year with her health. And so she's been sick since the beginning of the year. And being at her age, you know, it's so dangerous. And so, yeah. So anyway, it was really, really amazing gift from the Lord for me to get to bring a smile to her face, you know. So, yeah, that's my fun news for the day. Now, let's see. We did 3. We only did 3 because they are, like I said, a little bit fiddly. But I went with pastel-y kind of colors this time. It is spring. This is the one I made on my own earlier with the thicker paper. Now I've got all these strips. I might make more. Probably will make more, but we'll see. Now, I'm moving stuff so I can get to my decorations. I'm thinking, where is the small stuff I want to use? Let me see. Yeah, it's got to be kind of mini. Now, we could use some of Tim's words because his words are small. But I think all my mini stuff is up here, and I'm going to have to grab it because it's up on the top here. Yeah, I've got those. And okay. Oh, and you know what? We've got these little guys too. So we should try some of these. We've got the Tim Holtz minis. We've got the portraits, which would look, I think would look really cute on there. Some of these little guys, the little ladies. We've got some shoes, some of Tina's shoes here. And then I've got some Tina's other, and then stamps. So yeah, let's see what we can put together. I feel like I need to sneeze. Yep, I'm pretty sure. Oh, excuse me, guys. So sorry. Oh my goodness. Anyway. So here's this beautiful little lady. So let's see, which one shall we put her on? That's cute. Let's see. I want to use more girly stuff. So I'm going to grab this little basket with the boots and shoes and stuff. And I've got these tiny little shoes. I think they'll fit. I don't know. Maybe not. They're tiny, but I think they might be bigger than even these. Oh no, there you go. There you go. There you go. That's cute. Okay, so let's see. Sorry, I've got a little frog in my throat. Let's go ahead and distress this a little bit. I do think I'm going to put this the boot on here. And I'm going to put her, or should I do it on here? Probably doesn't really matter. It'll fit on either one. I like her on there, so I'm going to, where's my gold? I'm going to put a little bit of gold on this, doctor it up a little bit, give it a little bling. And I'm only going to decorate one because it's already 5 o'clock in the morning and I want to go lay down because I don't feel very well. So I need to try and get a little bit of sleep before I go over to Miss Charity's house. That's cute. They don't need a lot. They're super adorable on their own. Okay. And then I think I'm going to put words. Well, I've got words there, huh? That's true. This one does. Well, let's see. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? I don't even know where I got all these. I don't. I think maybe some of this came. Oh, and you know what I forgot to show you guys? Look what I got. Totally forgot. I got these this weekend. Sorry, I've scooted out and I can't get back. I got these stamps. Aren't they fun? I haven't even used them yet at all. And then I finally got Tim Holt's Field Notes collection. I have wanted this collection forever. So we are going to probably do some grungy type work with these. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Anyway, so yeah, I was really excited about these two sets. I was thinking I could use like a little stamp on here. I do have the stamps. Where did I put them? They're, oh, they're in this basket right here. Since they're envelopes, and I have like these little pinky ones, that'd be cute. Let me see. Oh, that's orange. Why is orange in there? Let's see. That's too big and too red. It doesn't quite. Let's do more of a. Let's see, do I have a beigey more color here? I've got purples. They'd probably go. I was just thinking a little small, you know, small. Oh, this stamp is small. Yeah, I'm going to use that one. And just kind of darken these bright white edges a little bit. And then I'm going to add a little bit more gold. Okay. And I was thinking I could put a little diamante on here maybe. I don't know. What do you think? To kind of sparkle it up a little bit. And do like a gold. Let me grab. I don't even know where I would put it, but gotta cut all this string off. Okay. And let's see. Maybe just like right here, just to put a little bit of sparkle right there on that triangle part of the envelope. There. So there we go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and that you give these a try. If you do, please let me know what you thought. I think they're pretty cute. You can put, like I said, you can do some glue along your edge on the bottom and like the side and make a little pocket by doing the glue here and here. Or you can do it like a little tuck and just do glue on the bottom and along here, and then you could tuck right into that corner, or vice versa on that side. But yeah, they're super sweet. And I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful day. I love you guys so much. Thank you for your patience with me being late today. I apologize. And I will try not to do that again for a very long time. I love you so much. God bless you. Bye-bye.